What's up, everyone? I'm Joe from Subtle Art Soap. I appreciate you stopping by the channel. Hope you're all doing well. I have a fun shave for you today. The soap we're going to be using, Maple Bourbon. And I do make a splash for this, but that's not the splash that I'm going to be using today. The splash that I'm going to be using is from an artisan, fellow artisan, friend of mine. I've known him for a while. Bricktown Grooming, Valley Forge. This is a really nice bourbon fragrance. Sandalwood, amber, oak moss, and bourbon. Simple, clean, really, really nice. I think the amber in this plays really nice with the sweetness that I have in our soap from the maple. And of course you have sandalwood in here and the bourbon. It just works really good with our maple bourbon soap. And the razor we're going to be using, the Parker 65R. I've been using this razor a lot this past week. I really like that design on the handle. And the brush we're going to be using is a vintage Ever-Ready that Phil, Bricktown Grooming, restored for me. And this is a really, I like the size of this brush. It works out really, really nice. All right, I'm going to wet my face real quick, throw on a little pre-shave soap, and then we'll get rocking and rolling. We are back. I got my pre-shave soap on. Oh, I'm using our unscented pre-shave soap. Still everything's still left-handed. It's going to be that way for a while. So I'm still rocking the grip mat for the soap. Kind of I don't always use it. Sometimes I'll hold the soap in my other hand, but it's a little it's pretty sore today from the weekend. We did a lot this weekend. I wasn't using my arm or lifting with it or anything like that, but I think just in general, doing stuff kind of makes it a little sore. I did an event this weekend. It's the first event that I've done since the surgery. Really couldn't do much but stand there. But at least I got out and was doing stuff again. I might go back to the farmer's market with Sadie. I don't know. We'll see. I don't like not being able to do anything, just standing there and while Sadie's putting everything together. I can stock things up, but I can help her with the tent, things like that, but I kind of feel a little useless sometimes when I'm there doing nothing. She's doing most of everything. Give me 1 second here. I forgot to fill up the sink. I'm going to fill up the sink with a little bit of water. I think that's good. So starting to get back to doing some things that I used to do with the business. The event was good. It was fun. Fall festival. If you guys haven't checked out Bricktown Grooming, oh god, That sucked. I still can't reach my arm up. I gotta. It's so frustrating. Anyway, if you guys haven't checked out Bricktown Grooming, just check him out. Phil makes some really nice stuff. I've known Phil for a while. He was the only collaboration I've ever done was with Bricktown Grooming. You guys, if you've been around past few years, you know which one it is. This Irish Brigade. It's the only collaboration that I've done. It was us, Bricktown Grooming, and the Shave Supply. And that was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that. Stuff out of the way. I know I'm going to knock something off the sink. Put a little bit more water on here. But back when we did that collaboration, Phil wasn't making soap yet. He was just fragrances. He was just doing aftershaves. And like shortly after that, he partnered up with Razor Emporium. Razor Emporium was making his soaps. And he almost closed up shop when he retired from the Navy. He got a full-time job that was pretty demanding, and he wasn't going to be able to continue with the business. But Razor Emporium stepped in and agreed to take over production for him. So all Phil was still doing the blending the fragrances, making the fragrances, but Razor Emporium would make his stuff, and they're still doing it now. If they hadn't stepped in, he's told me this before, if they hadn't stepped in, he would have had to shut things down. So it's good that they did. It's really good that they did. All right, let's get rolling here. I have an Astra green blade in here. I like Parker razors. Like I said, bang for your buck. You really can't beat it. They are slightly more on the aggressive side. It's just how they're built. I think they're all like that. But I like that. I like that extra blade feel. I carry more Parker razors in our shop than any other razor. All right, what else is going on? So restocks are moving along, finally getting those sorted out. Draconis Luna, Maple Bourbon, they'll all be back in stock in a couple of weeks. They're already made. They'll be back in stock in a couple of weeks. I did make more Maple Bourbon because we got down to one of those in stock. Shows one on the website, but I do have more made. So that's moving along. We do have a new soap coming out. Applewood Pumpkin. Now this one, we weren't sure we were going to do this one. When we did our schedule for soaps, fall soaps, this was on the list of ones that we wanted to do. And then everything happened and we weren't sure we were going to get to it. We knew we were going to do Autumn Woods. We weren't sure we were going to do Applewood Pumpkin because the production was, we weren't making them at the same time. They were a couple months apart. And we could have done them at the same time, but that just didn't really make sense to me. Hold on, let me get a little bit more water here. But Sadie and I were talking, we were doing the restocks. And we decided, let's make it. We got everything to do it, let's do it. So that will be out in a couple weeks. And that is not your typical sweet pumpkin pie gourmand fragrance. It does have some of that there in the fragrance. There is some of that there in the some of those notes, I should say. That's what I'm trying to say. In that fragrance, but it is not, the sweet pumpkin pie gourmand scent. It is spicier, woodier. I put the scent notes on a post on Instagram the other day. Of course, there's the applewood and there's a fir needle, cedar. Kind of calms all that sweetness down. There's just a hint of vanilla sugar in there to kind of tie it all together. So not much of a gourmand, but you do get some of that pumpkin vibe. Go with the second pass. Now I've been asked about redoing Autumn Woods or making another run of Autumn Woods. We're not going to do that. A couple different reasons why we're not going to do it, but the main reason is when I do seasonal, I just do one run of it because especially now we have to keep going with our core scents. Got to keep up on those. I'm not gonna go back and make more Autumn Woods. We made more Autumn Woods this year. I've been doing that one for 4 years. The first year was just a bath soap. And then 3 years we did the shave soap. One year was just a shave soap, and then we did 2 years of shave soap and aftershave. And this is the third year for the set, shave soap and aftershave set. But as I was saying, I made more this year, significantly more this year than I have in the past. And yeah, I know it sold out really fast, and I mean that's exciting, and I'm really glad that it did. Thank you again to everyone who came out for that one. But we have other things that we have to move on to, and once I do a seasonal, I don't typically go back and do another one or do another run of it. Even when I'm not injured, if our situation wasn't what it is now, I still wouldn't go back and do another one, another run of it. We plan these things out. We buy specific amounts of certain oils to make fragrances. Some of them are pretty expensive, so we got to plan those out. Speaking of talking about the price of things, the cost for our shave jars has gone up. I just placed an order yesterday, and it's not the cost of the jars themselves, it's the shipping. Has gone up quite a bit, but I'm not raising my prices to cover that. We're just gonna eat that. I really don't think it's a good idea to start raising prices, especially now. We can cover this cost, but hopefully there's not another increase. So watch for our new one. It'll be out in a couple of weeks. I really like the way this one turned out. And Sadie, this one, Sadie actually had a hand in the blending of this fragrance. Now, this one is not brand new, so to speak. A couple of years ago, we did this and was a farmer's market exclusive. I've talked about this before. Sometimes we'll do things just for the farmer's market, and this was one of them. But it was just a bath soap, and my plan to make it a shave soap and aftershave, something that we have been contemplating, something that I definitely wanted to do, but it's something we had been contemplating. We didn't do it last year, but we did put it on the schedule for this year, so that's why we did it. Let's do a third pass. Do a third pass. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna try and see about going against the grain here a little bit. Not too bad. A little awkward going against the grain with this hand. That's the thing about these razors, the Parker razors. They are really efficient. So with the grain and across the grain usually work out to be enough. Yeah, I'm not going to bother going against the grain here. Just clean this up a little bit here. I think we're going to be good. Yeah, I think that'll do it. All right, let me rinse off and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we're back. Throw on a little splash here of Valley Forge. Oh, that is so good. I'm telling you guys, got to check this out. That's such a nice scent. I know Phil had talked about a little while ago that there were going to be some EDPs at some point. If this one is ever an EDP, I am on it 100%. All right, let's do a quick recap. Maple Bourbon soap, Valley Forge, Bricktown Grooming splash, Parker 65R, an Astra Green blade, and a vintage Ever Ready brush restored by Phil Decker, Bricktown Grooming. All right, guys, that'll do it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Enjoy the rest of your week. Take care.